Okay, hi, I'm Keith, and I'm one of the 8 original people that started Food Not Bombs. Food Not Bombs collects produce and bread and food that can't be sold from grocery stores, bakeries, produce markets, and things like that. And we make free vegan and vegetarian meals that we serve on the streets in 1,000 cities of the world. We're not a charity. And then some chapters have started going that solidarity, not charity, as one of their banners and stuff. And that's because it's really, the best possible solution is not to have endless soup lines forever, but to end the reason why people are forced to go to soup lines. We have like a two concept thing where we're protesting and organizing against capitalism and exploitation and all this stuff that's happening. We were trying to show connection from the very beginning, that animal rights, your diet, how you grow food, being organic, abundance and sharing instead of hoarding and scarcity. All these concepts are all linked together. And then our principles were very simple, the 3 principles: that the food is always vegan and vegetarian and free to anyone without restriction, that each chapter is autonomous and has no leaders, and everybody works equally using a process called consensus to make decisions, and that we're dedicated to nonviolent direct action. So because of that, it makes it very easy for anybody to do, and they don't need to get permission or some licensing fee or some crazy thing. The model is that you take food and literature in a banner, and you set up on as the highest visibility location possible, and you try to encourage people of all backgrounds to join you in eating. We encourage the people that are depending on our food to participate in the decision making and the operating of the organization. The reason that Food Not Bombs, I think, has taken off is, one, we didn't own Food Not Bombs, the original 8 people that started it, and we basically tried to make it so simple that it could be reproduced everywhere. So that was originally why it kind of worked. So in 1988, on August 15th, we were sharing food in Golden Gate Park, and to our surprise, we got arrested that day by 45 riot police. And we started getting calls and letters from people asking how they could get arrested sharing food in their cities. So we took those notes and we made a flyer called 7 Steps to Starting with Food Not Bombs. Not only were we arrested on August 15th, we were arrested again the next Monday. We were then arrested on Labor Day, where 54 people were arrested. All these people that never heard of the peace movement, didn't know that there was anybody that cared about these things, what happened by our tables. And just after a while, word of mouth and punk bands and fanzines and YouTube videos and all this stuff started just distributing. We got on CNN, we got in the New York Times, the Times of London, and so people started writing us from all over the world to see if they could start groups. Ecological impacts of meat production and factory farming. It's about 16 pounds of grain is fed to make a pound of beef. If you're trying to solve world hunger, promoting a vegan diet is much better. Getting recovered food, it's much safer to get plant-based food and be making that into meals. They're doing it over and over again. People that are homeless and hungry in the States or in other places where that's true, they they come to rely on you, they build a relationship with you, you become friends with a larger number of people. If you're collecting the food from a grocery store, you become friends with those workers and they get to know you, and you start to really build community and they can rely on you. But the regular weekly sharing food, or daily in some cities, event of sharing free food is a way for people throughout the community to come together and meet one another and then discuss all these ideas.